Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 589, written by SockTacoz. My daughter's blue. Wait, no. Green Dino? Hey guys, something weird is happening here. About 2 weeks ago, I was feeling off, like I was going to have a heart attack or going to pass out or throw up. I don't have insurance at the moment, so I decided I would sleep it off. My daughter's favorite toy was on the couch when I came out of the living room. It was a blue dinosaur plushie she took everywhere with her. Well, I scooted it over on the couch and started watching TV, hoping I would pass out, and I grabbed her toy and had it in my hands to distract me. I eventually fell asleep and woke up the next day. My girlfriend and kid were gone, and I got up to get some water. I looked down on the floor and thought, oh crap, she forgot her toy, she's gonna have a fit. Then it hit me. Instead of the dark blue toy I see all the time, it was bright green. I know I'm not crazy. She's had it for a year now, and when I asked what we should name it, I even said we should name it Blue. She throws a fit about the toy constantly and says, I want my blue dinosaur, I want my blue dinosaur. So I know for a mother freaking fact, this thing was blue. I thought maybe she had a second dinosaur similar in shape, but a different color. Then my girlfriend called me asking if her toy was still at home. I asked, the blue dinosaur? No, the green one she has all the time. Well, what about the blue one? There is no blue one. What are you talking about? My head started to spin. I started reading online about theories on our consciousness traveling to another dimension when we die, because I admit I was having a bit of death anxiety after that night. I usually have panic attacks or anxiety, but this was way different. Anyways, I started looking into theories about souls and consciousness and came across that one and how it lies within the parameters of infinite universes and small things in people's lives changing after an accident, near-death experience, etc. I'm not convinced I died, but something weird definitely happened that night, and now I have this bright green dino making me question everything I know. For clarification, my water heater is gas, but it's outside in a closed area, and I have a CO2 detector in my apartment, so I think I'm solid regarding that. I don't take any medications or any mind-altering substances. Case notes, file number 589. It does sound like a case of quantum immortality. You know, I often say that I haven't experienced any glitches myself, besides the obvious small thing, the tennis balls going poof. But thinking about it, I may have experienced a third glitch way back in my teen years, if we count quantum immortality as a glitch. So back then I was experiencing the worst stomach pain of my life, perhaps of all existence that I can imagine. It was something that a demon would inflict on someone else in hell. Literally so horrific that I couldn't even stand up. Nothing could distract my mind from it. The pain would come and go, some days, some nights, mostly at night. Other times, back-to-back nights of excruciating pain. Then I remember one night I was in my bed, just laying there in absolute agony. Moment A, then moment B, in an instant later, zero pain. And since then, I've never had any stomach pain at all. The only thing to note though, after this happened, I never noticed anything strange about my surroundings. Everything was exactly as I remembered it. That said, I'm not exactly Sherlock Holmes, so maybe there were minor changes that I simply didn't realize or notice. But it really does make you wonder. Did I actually die then? Did my appendix burst? And then I just poofed over to another universe, almost identical. It is conceivable, and it would explain a lot. But it really is so sad to think about my mom in that universe. If I died there, she doesn't know about quantum immortality. She doesn't know I'm still around in my sentience, just in another universe. So if that did happen, I was literally dead there. She had a funeral for me, she mourned me. It's a very somber thought, coupled with hope, because you get to live on. Everyone does, but still. Case file number 590, written by t-xuj. The most black and white glitch you've ever heard of. I've lived in 4 different states on both US coasts as an adult, all with my wife. One place we lived was Oxford, Pennsylvania. This true story happened in 2018 between January and July when we moved again. In town, we would see this young lady, maybe 20 years old, slim, dirty blonde hair, who was obviously living out of her car. This was common on the West Coast where we moved to, but uncommon enough there that I always noticed her. She drove, lived, and slept in a white 4-door Hyundai Elantra with her small dog and a huge pink and black tiger-striped pillow in the back seat, along with a white blanket. The pillow and blanket were always visible, and I always noticed her based on the car and the stuff in her car that was easy to see, as it was packed up to the rear window. I would point her out to my wife, who also began noticing her in town. I saw her often all over town. Sometimes she'd sleep at gas stations or in the parking lot near my work. I sometimes wondered if I should offer to help her somehow, but my gut instinct told me not to for whatever reason. Now the strange part. All of a sudden, we began seeing the exact same car, woman, dog, pillow, blanket combo around town doing the exact same things, sleeping at gas stations, empty lots, etc., except this car was black. Same everything, but a black Hyundai Elantra instead of white. The one did not replace the other. We would see them alternately, never at the same time or even day. Combined, we probably saw them a few times a week at least, and it seemed totally random which version we would see that day. Like I said, everything was the exact same except the color of the car, the type of car, the appearance of the driver, the appearance of the dog, the appearance of the zebra-striped pillow, the blanket, the locations they were parked or driving at. Everything except one car was black and the other was white. We moved that July and saw them both right up to the time we moved. A very bizarre coincidence that we still talk about. Bonus file, written by Mr. Beaver, 3601, The Demon of the Tree. In 2012, we went to Pakistan on holiday, and my cousin was 1 year old at the time. So my 1-year-old cousin was sitting and playing under a tree in the backyard with others when he started acting weird. He wasn't acting normal and kept screaming and behaving weird. So at night, I was woken up by my aunt's mother-in-law as she wakes up at night and prays. My aunt, cousin's mom, and her mother-in-law and me saw my 1-year-old cousin crawling away and saw him just crawling outside towards the tree he was playing under. My aunt started crying, but her mother-in-law told me not to go after him. Then I realized why she said not to go after him. My 1-year-old cousin was still asleep in the same room, and whatever that was crawling away and going back to the tree looking like my cousin was a thing that temporarily possessed him and was returning back to the tree. The next morning, he was completely normal, and it never happened again. I saw that thing crawling away with my own eyes and wouldn't have known it wasn't my cousin. You can believe the story or not, but 3 people saw it happen, including me. Bonus file, written by RaineTheLlama, my son with dirty blonde hair. When I was 16 or 17, I was feeling deeply suicidal. I wanted to die and be put out of my misery. It was a very dark time for me, and I was close to going through with it. One night, I had a very clear dream. I could see a man in his 20s with dirty blonde hair staring at me from a bench. He had a short beard/stubble. He said loudly, "Mom, you have to get yourself together because I'm coming home soon." It's odd because I have dark brown hair and he didn't look how I'd imagined my son would look. I woke up and this dream startled me. It felt so real, crystal clear. I can still see him and hear him now. A year after that dream, I met his dad, who also had dark brown hair. It was an abusive relationship for years, and I always wanted to leave, but something always happened that made me stay. Fast forward 8 years, and I became pregnant. I instantly knew it was a boy. He was born and he'll be 2 this year. His hair is dirty blonde, and I just know that he is the same person as the man in my dream. He looks just like the toddler version of him. Has anyone else had a similar experience to this? I feel bothered by it on a weekly basis. It feels like I met my now ex just so that he could be born. I can't help but ask why. Why did he choose me? Why choose a horrible dad? I honestly feel like he picked both of us. It would be amazing to hear similar experiences just so that I know I'm not out of my mind. I once had a similar dream with my childhood sweetheart. One of the reasons I was depressed in my teen years was because he moved to Japan, and I remember being there with another woman and my ex in the background. I told her, very clearly, it was like myself speaking into my ear, it was so loud, to look after him for me, and she said, "I will, she's waking up now." Not sure who he is talking about, but maybe it was me asleep in real life because I woke up a second later. These are the only 2 dreams I've ever had that have been that clear, with real intent and lucidity behind it.